Hi guys, today I'm going to be discussing another Beatles album. This time it is with the Beatles. I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on each of the tracks, and at the end of the video I'm going to be ranking the songs from my least to favourite. With the Beatles is the second studio album by the Beatles. It was released on the 22nd of November 1963 on Parlophone. I picked up my copy of the album on vinyl from a second-hand shop. I only paid £15 for it, which I was really happy with. It was still in the plastic when I got it, so really happy that I only paid £15. I also have the album on CD as well. There's the song track list and a picture, and inside we have more photos. And it also comes with a booklet with more photos inside. I'm really happy that I have the album on vinyl, but I really like that with the CD it comes with these little booklets. A closer look at the front cover now. This photo on the cover was taken by fashion photographer Robert Freeman and has since been mimicked by several music groups. The Beatles were impressed with Robert Freeman's black and white pictures of John Coltrane. The group asked Freeman to take inspiration from Astrid's photos she had taken in Hamburg of them in half shadow, not smiling. To achieve this, Freeman photographed them in a dark corridor of the Palace Court Hotel in Bournemouth. But EMI were not happy that the Beatles were not smiling in the photo, but George Martin pushed for it to be used. EMI Australia did not receive the cover art and so used different shots of the band for their album cover, which the Beatles only found out about during their Australian tour, which they weren't happy with. The US release, Meet the Beatles, has the UK cover but with a blue tint. I really love this front cover, it is just so iconic. With the Beatles was recorded over 7 sessions across 3 months, with it officially being finished on the 4th of November 1963. The album was released in the UK on the 22nd of November 1963. The album had advance orders of 500,000 and sold another 500,000 by September 1965, making it the second album to sell 1 million copies in the UK, the first being the soundtrack of the 1958 film South Pacific. With the Beatles remained at the top of the charts for 21 weeks, displacing Please Please Me. So the Beatles occupied the top spot for 51 weeks. No other group or singer has achieved 51 weeks at number 1 in the album charts, although the soundtrack for South Pacific achieved 70 weeks at number 1. I have actually never seen the South Pacific before, and learning that, it's made me feel like I really want to watch it. I had no idea that that soundtrack stayed at number 1 for so long. Now I'm going to give my thoughts on each of the tracks. There are 14 songs on the album. Some are Lennon-McCartney songs. There is one Harrison song and then some cover songs as well. So the first one is It Won't Be Long. This is of course credited as a Lennon-McCartney song, although Lennon said it was mostly his work. The song was recorded on the 30th of July in 2 sessions. I really like this song a lot. A really powerful vocal from John, and I think it's a very strong song to start the album. I also like that they've added in the yeah yeah yeahs to this song as well. It is one of my favourite songs on the album. The next track is All I've Got To Do, another song credited to Lennon-McCartney but written by John. Lennon said the song was written mostly for the American audience because the idea of calling up a girl on the telephone was unthinkable to a British youth in the early 1960s. It's also been said that apparently this song is the first song in rock music that the bass player plays chords as a vital part of the song. Another track I really like, and another great vocal from John. I just love singing to this one. I can't help myself. Every time I play it, I have to sing along. I just find it really catchy. The third track is All My Lovin'. This is a Lennon-McCartney song written by Paul McCartney. Paul said he wrote this song as poetry to add music to later. He said that this was the first song that he wrote the words to before the music. Although the song was not officially released as a single, it received a lot of radio airplay in the UK and the US. It was released as a single in Canada and reached #1. I just love this song. I love the lyrics. I love Paul singing. I love the music. I love everything about it. There's not much else I can say, really. The fourth track is Don't Bother Me. This is the first song written by George Harrison to appear on one of their albums. Harrison wrote this song at the Palace Court Hotel in Bournemouth. On a day he was feeling sick, so he stayed in the hotel room and he didn't really have anything else to do, so decided to write a song. He described it as an exercise to see if he could actually write a song. He later said that he didn't think the song was very good, but I actually think it's a great first song from George. It's not one of my favourites of his, but I still really enjoy it. I like how moody and dark it sounds. I think even George sounds a bit fed up on it, which suits the song because, of course, he doesn't want anyone to bother him. It is a song that I do enjoy. The next track is Little Child, a song written by Paul and John, originally for Ringo, but he was given I Want to Be Your Man instead. McCartney described this song as an album filler, and to be honest, it's not one of my favourite songs. It's not one of their most inventive songs in my opinion, and I'll just spoil it now, but it is my least favourite track on the album. The next track is Till There Was You. This is a show tune written by Meredith Wilson. Apparently, the widow of Wilson stated that her husband's estate received more income from the royalties of the Beatles recording than from the actual play it was used in, which was The Music Man. I think this is a beautiful song. I always love Paul's softer ballads, and it's one I really enjoy playing. The next track is Please Mr Postman. This was a debut single by the Marvelettes. The song wasn't well known to the British audience at the time, so the Beatles were able to make it their own. I think this is a great cover. I love John's energetic vocals, and I think the backing harmonies are great too. Yeah, I think it's a brilliant cover, and I do think they made it their own. The next track is Roll Over Beethoven. This is a song by Chuck Berry. It was a favourite of John, Paul and George. It features George Harrison on vocals. I do think it's an enjoyable song, but personally, it's not one of my favourite covers. The next track is Hold Me Tight. This song was composed mostly by Paul McCartney. John said it was Paul's. He said that he thought it was a pretty poor song and that he was never really interested in it. Even Paul himself said that he can't remember much about it. Critics have also held it in low regard, saying that it's the poorest track on the album and that Paul is even out of tune. I wouldn't go that far. I think Paul's vocals are fine in my opinion. I do like the tune, but I will agree that I don't think it's one of their strongest tracks, and it is one that I easily forget about as well. When I was looking at the tracks on the album, all of the songs sprang to my mind immediately, except this one, which I thought was a little strange. I actually had to play it to remind myself how it went, so I just found that a little interesting really, but I still don't dislike the song. The next track is You Really Got to Hold on Me. This is a song by Smokey Robinson. I love this cover. I think John's vocals are amazing. I also love the harmonies. I always enjoy listening to this one. Always need to sing along to it. I just find it really catchy. One of my favourites on the album. The next song is I Want to Be Your Man. This song was apparently mostly written by Paul, but John helped finish it. The song was first recorded and released as a single by the Rolling Stones, and the Beatles version is sang by Ringo. I'm going to be a little brutal here with my opinion, but I really want to be as honest as possible with my reviews. But I've never really been that keen on this song. I just find it a bit repetitive, and I've never really found it catchy either, so it is one of my least favourite tracks on the album. The next track is Devil in Her Heart. This song was first recorded by the 1960s R&B girl group The Donays. Harrison is on main vocals, and I love this song. This one I do find really catchy. I really like that George is on lead with this one, and there are some great harmonies from Paul and John as well. This has always been one of my favourite songs on the album. The next track is Not a Second Time. This one was written by John Lennon, who said he was trying to do a Smokey Robinson. I like this song. I think there's something quite unique about it for the time, and I really love Lennon's vocals. The last track on the album is Money, That's What I Want. This is another cover which they previously performed during an audition for Decca with Pete Best on drums. I think this is another great cover, and like with Twist and Shout from their Please Please Me album, I think it's a great choice to end with this powerful upbeat performance. Overall, I think this is a great album. There's some really great tracks on there which I just love. It's an album that I frequently play, but comparing it with their first album, Please Please Me, I think I prefer their first album a bit more than this one. And it's also not up there with one of my favourites of their albums, but I still really like it. I still, like I say, play it a lot, and I still love the majority of the tracks from the album. So now I'm going to rank the songs from the album in my personal opinion from my least favourite to favourite. At number 14, I have Little Child. At 13, I Want to Be Your Man. 12, Hold Me Tight. 11, Roll Over Beethoven. 10, Don't Bother Me. 9, Not a Second Time. 8, Till There Was You. 7, Please Mr Postman. 6, It Won't Be Long. 5, Money, That's What I Want. 4, Devil in Her Heart. 3, You Really Got to Hold on Me. 2, All I've Got to Do. And at number 1, it was actually an easy number 1 choice for me. It's All My Lovin'. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know your thoughts on this album and your favourite track, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!